Book of the Week, The New 8 Steps to Happiness by Geshe, Kelsang, Gyatso. Welcome everybody, it's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here as your therapist and as your coach to help you transform any stress, tension, and pain into health, happiness, and vitality. So every Friday, as you know, if you've been following me the last number of weeks, I think we're on to book number 18 today, actually. So this has been 18 weeks. I've been sharing with you each week one of my favorite book of the week. Now, this is necessarily not necessarily a book that I just read that particular week, but it's a book that's on my shelves behind me that I've read over the years, and I want to share with you that's had a profound impact in my life, my profession, helping my patients ultimately to transform their stress, their tension, and pain. This book this week, a little partial to me because I am a Buddhist, is the new 8 steps to happiness. And this is written by my kind teacher, Geshe, Kelsang, Gyatso. This is a book that is revolving around a Buddhist poem that's been around for almost 1,000 years, known as the 8 Verses of Training the Mind. And it's an inspiring book that helps explain how to meditate on these 8 steps, these beautiful verses that will transform your mind. Remember, everything I've been sharing with you over the last, I don't know how many months now, 6 months through these podcast video series, I'm always revolving around helping you achieve more what? More health, more happiness, and more vitality. And to me, the number one resource for doing that, beyond all the drugs, beyond all the therapy, beyond all the relationships and money, is changing your mind. If you don't change the way you look at things, the way things look will never change. If you have a lot of stress in your life right now, I guarantee if you shift your mindset toward that stress, you won't necessarily label it as stress anymore. You might have a completely different label for it. Because very often when it comes to stress, we are pointing the finger outside ourselves, but ultimately, where is that stress being experienced? It is right here in our hearts. It is right here in our mind space that we have these unpleasant feelings. And unpleasant feelings are the real causes of our unhappiness. If we resolve our unpleasant feelings, then we're going to have more happiness. So there's only 3 types of feelings you need to be concerned about. There's pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral feelings. And these types of books that I'm sharing with you, this obviously being quite profound with respect to Buddhist practice, these books overall, though, are helping you to understand that you can find more pleasant feelings through transforming your mind, not by necessarily changing all your external circumstances and situations. Because as we've seen this last year, especially with COVID, the turmoil and turbulence and challenges that we've all faced financially and relationships and career and health, like it's obviously impacted the world on such a global scale. How we've responded ultimately determines how we've felt towards that whole experience. And I've had these conversations multiple times over the last number of months with closing and reopening and business owners and entrepreneurs and stay-at-home parents. I mean, a diverse group of people. And ultimately, my summary has been what I've always believed, that if your mindset is set in such a way, it's like a thermostat almost, in such a way that, yes, stress is going to come. All these outer problems are never going to stop. COVID is just another one of them. But you have a healthy way of dealing with that, then it's just another little tiny roadblock on your journey in this life. This book this week I'm sharing with you, The New Steps to Happiness. I'll just read a little piece from this introduction for you. Such a beautiful book. Everyone, whether religious or non-religious, is looking for happiness all the time and wants to be free from problems and suffering permanently. We can fulfill these wishes through understanding and practicing the instructions given in this book. This book is based on the wildly renowned 8 Verses of Training the Mind, which was composed by a Bodhisattva Langri Tengpa, an 11th century Buddhist master from Tibet. Through comprising only 8 4-line verses, this remarkable text reveals the essence of the Buddhist path to enlightenment, showing how we can transform our mind from its present confused and self-centered state into the perfect wisdom and compassion of enlightened Buddha. And just remember, I am a Buddhist. I'm a practicing Buddhist. Great. Well done, Jay, and all. But You don't have to become Buddhist. You don't have to be Buddhist to read this type of book. It's such a profound text that the essence of it is for you to take away and then to apply it into your daily life. That's it. Beautiful. Simple. Everyone wants to be happy and no one wants to suffer, but very few people understand what is the real cause of happiness and what is the real cause of suffering. We tend to look for happiness outside ourselves, thinking if we had the right house, the right car, the right job, and the right friends that we like, we would be truly happy. We spend almost all our time adjusting the external world, trying to make it to conform to our wishes. All our life, we have tried to surround ourselves with people and things that make us feel comfortable, secure, or stimulated, yet we still have not found pure and lasting happiness. I mean, just check. All the things that you've been pursuing in your life up to this point, have they given you the lasting happiness that you thought those things were going to give you? If you check, and I'll shorten the answer for you, it's a no. Even when we succeed in fulfilling our desires, it is not long before our desires change and we want something else. We may find the house of our dreams, but a few months later, we feel that we need a bigger kitchen, an extra bedroom, or a larger garden, and we begin to think of moving. Or perhaps we meet the perfect partner, fall in love, and move in together. At the beginning, our partner seems to be the most wonderful person in the world, but before long, we begin to see faults in him or her. We discover that we are no longer in love, and soon we are looking for someone else to fulfill our desires. Throughout human history, humans have sought to improve their external situation, yet despite all efforts, we are no happier. It is true that from the point of view of material development, many countries are making progress. Technology is becoming more and more sophisticated, and worldly knowledge has increased dramatically. We know so many things we did not know before, and we can do things that we'd never even dreamt of. Superficially, it looks as if our world is improving, but if we look a little more deeply, we will see that there are now more problems that never existed before. Terrifying weapons have been invented, our environment is being poisoned, and new diseases are appearing. Even simple pleasures like eating or lying in the sun are becoming more dangerous. The result of an unbridled pursuit of happiness from external sources is that our planet is being destroyed and our lives are becoming more complicated and dissatisfying. It is time we sought happiness from a different source. Happiness is a part of the mind that experiences inner peace or peace of mind. So the real source of happiness must lie within the mind, not in external conditions. If our mind is pure and peaceful, we will be happy, regardless of our external circumstances. But if our mind is impure and unpeaceful, we shall never be happy, no matter how hard we try to change our external conditions. We could change our home or our partner countless times. But until we change our restless, discontented mind, we will never find real happiness. Beautiful book. That's just a little taste of the surface of this book. So much depth to it. The New 8 Steps to Happiness by Geshe Kelsang, Gyatso. My favorite book of the week. My favorite book, Check it out. Highly recommend it. Thank you for joining me this morning. Jason Barlow, RMT. If you've not had a chance, you should go get my free book. And in my free book, I talk about your 4 controls that revolve around achieving more health, happiness, and vitality. Number 1 being your mindset. Number 2, your physical body, how you move it, how you exercise it. And number 3, how you ingest and food, your food types, nutrition. Number 4 is your rest and recovery. Those are the 4 underpinning controls that you have to take accountability for. You can go see all the therapists and the doctors and read all these books, great. But ultimately, it boils down to you controlling those 4 controls, and especially controlling your mind, because problems are going to keep coming up. How are you going to respond to them? Have a great day. Remember, your muscle health is my number 1 priority, and we'll see you guys on Monday.